I'm pretty sure we've all grown up with this cliche. Well, really this word, and it's just about being spoiled rotten. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've all grown up with that. Well, of course, I'm going to speak on it from an inverted perspective. So, I look at spoiled rotten a little bit differently. Check this out. Now, when you really think about it overall, spoiled rotten, I don't see it as a good thing in this society. That cliche is usually associated with her being spoiled rotten, like, oh yeah, she spoiled rotten, or he spoiled rotten, like a baby, you know what I mean? And yes, I just went over a railroad track just in case you saw me kind of like shaking from side to side. Yeah, and got the police out tonight. I don't know what's going on here, y'all. Something going down. Looks like somebody was spoiled rotten tonight. Yeah. But yeah, usually when we think of spoiled rotten, it's usually that person that gets a lot of favoritism. And so with that said, with the person that gets a lot of favoritism, that's the person we see as spoiled rotten. But for some people, that can be an endearing term. I'm not speaking on it from my perspective as an endearing term. So we're going to stick with the feminine in this case, because, I'm just speaking as a man about, a woman or a female per se. But basically, I'm speaking as the masculine about the feminine. Although this can also apply to some guys, and maybe I'll kind of lightly speak on that matter towards the end of this video. But the thing to remember is this. There's definitely a difference between a fruit that's ripe for the picking and a fruit that is spoiled rotten. Yes, I'll repeat again. There's definitely a difference between a fruit that's ripe for the picking and a fruit that is spoiled rotten. So that's really what I mean by spoiled rotten. Spoiled and rotten. So really, someone that gets a lot of favoritism, they actually become more like the spoiled and rotten fruit versus the ripe fruit. But of course, those that are entitled to certain things, or you favor that person, you obviously see them as a very ripe fruit. But usually these type of people are very, very rotten on the inside and very spoiled on the inside. But I guess because they've been quote unquote spoiled by people who have been favoring them, giving them whatever they want. They have their way in life. So I had a high school sweetheart. She was spoiled rotten. And, one of the reasons why we're not together right now could be more or less, I don't favor people, but her mama favored her a lot. So she grew up with this entitlement due to a lot of people favoring her for a lot of various reasons. So I won't go into that detail, but I'm just going to leave it at that, but see, the thing is that a lot of these people, especially a lot of those type of females that don't develop into women due to them being spoiled and rotten, a lot of them just, she don't have the juice. She doesn't have the juice. That's the thing you gotta think about, fellas. And I want to also talk about the cliche that I be hearing in a lot of these male spaces, whether red pill or manosphere. But I used to hear this term a lot about, her juice isn't worth the squeeze. I'm going to get to that. I just made a footnote for myself and for you guys. So keep that in mind for all the fellas that are watching this video, just as the ladies that are watching this video, listening to it, because you can't really see me that well. But hey, I'm here, yeah. But yeah, she's loose. If her fruit ain't got no juice, you gotta cut her loose. But a lot of times she ain't got no juice because she been loose. You know, she been squeezed out so much that she's now loose and ain't got no juice. She ain't got no more juice. So because she ain't got no more juice, because she's been squeezed out of juice so much time, yeah, she been squeezed out of juice so many times, you gotta cut her loose. You know, she's just a rotten fruit. You know, she's definitely a rotten fruit because, you know, she's been maximized, spoiled rotten now. You know, there's nothing to her no more. She's no longer ripe. When she was ripe, she had all the juice squeezed out of her to where now she has no juice left. Now, this also can mean other things. Now, we're going to talk about how her juice isn't worth the squeeze, because you got some of the females out there, like the other females who have been squeezed out of juice. You got the other females who haven't been squeezed out of juice, but the juice that they have in them is not worth the squeeze. Basically, that's because she has bitter juice. So literally, she is the most rotten of the rotten. You know, you got one aspect of a spoiled, rotten fruit that's been squeezed out of the juice, so it's too loose, and you got to cut the fruit loose because it's got no more juice. But you also got the other type of female that represents the other type of fruit, the fruit that got juice, but it's bitter juice because the fruit is rotten, spoiled rotten. So I'd say for chicks like that, they probably haven't had so many experiences, but at the same time, they're so entitled and they're so used to getting their way that, you know, they've probably been single for most of their life. They probably have never been married, or they've never had kids, or maybe they've been through multiple marriages, but the reason for why they can't keep a man around is due to them having bitter juice. Not Beetlejuice, bitter juice, but maybe her bitter juice is like Beetlejuice. Who knows? Don't repeat Beetlejuice. Just say bitter juice, bitter juice. So fellas, next time you get around a chick that's getting on your nerves, just repeat bitter juice, bitter juice. You know, but I guess some of you ladies can repeat that to an annoying female that's not being a woman around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know she's talking all that noise. So now, you know, with that type of chick, you don't have to say talk to the hand no more. You know, back in the days, we used to say talk to the hand or poof be gone. You know, a lot of chicks used to say that. You know what I'm saying? And I only say we used to say that more or less because, you know, although we just would hear that term, like if you watch Living Color and you see Jamie Foxx playing the role of Wanda, and he was saying that poof be gone, talk to the hand. You probably had Martin playing Shanae saying the same thing, and unfortunately maybe some guys end up hearing those words. So yeah, we now, you know, we living in an age of reform. We're not trying to, you know, talk effeminate no more. So I know some guys even now, you know, fast forward now, they be like, don't say you got receipts. As a man, don't say that you got receipts. So shout out to Red Supreme TV for that one. Yeah, so, but with that said though, just continuing on, the thing is, yeah, you got some feminine genders out there who just have bitter juice, you know, or you have the ones that have no juice because they've been squeezed so much, they too loose and they got no juice, so you got to cut them loose. But the same thing applies to the chick that has bitter juice, and she probably hasn't been squeezed that much, but she doesn't hardly let a man touch get around her because she's so bitter. You know, so some chicks wondering why they can't have a man around. You're no different than the chick that's had many men around. When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're just so entitled, and it's made you spoiled and rotten, as I just broke it down as to what that really actually means. It's not, to me, an endearing term. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, when we usually say that, it's usually in regards to, like, you know, maybe a cute little girl or a cute little boy that's spoiled rotten. So I'm gonna end the video with this because I said I was gonna touch on the guys slightly. You know, you got guys out there that are the same way. I think, fellas and ladies, next time you meet a male like that, yeah, you meet a male that's like that and he's not acting like a real man, he's the type that acts spoiled rotten too. And I think as a man, you don't act spoiled rotten. You don't act spoiled and rotten. Because first of all, you're not tripping off validation like that. I mean, of course, you know, you want to be around people that are appreciative of you, but it's not from a validation standpoint. It's not from a give me, and I only care about me and think about me, and I won't do for you. As you get some little boys, they grow up into not real men. They don't grow up into real men, and they start to take on very effeminate behaviors in regards to being bitter with their juice, or, you know, in many ways they've been kind of squeezed out too. You know, the male that's not being like a man, he's no different than a female that's not a woman. To me, they're one and in the same. So definitely this whole idea of what really spoiled rotten is, from my perspective, can apply to both genders that have not been fully developed. And a lot of times, yeah, due to their lack of development, it just, man, it just makes them rotten to their core. Makes them rotten to their core, just like that plant, just like that fruit. And therefore, since it's rotten to the core, it'll never grow. It'll never grow. It'll never grow. Signing out.